I think we're live on Instagram and we're live on YouTube.
And then I hope it works from the Facebook.
And Facebook is his responsibility, so hopefully that works. All right, so what are we doing today? We are talking about how to deal with anxiety and stress, especially in the face of challenges or new opportunities, new situations, uncertainty, which a lot of us are facing these days.
Yes, so this is actually lots of things are happening rapidly. And then I really hope that this Facebook Live works. So
you take a minute and you can focus on that one.
All right.
So if you are watching, we would love to hear what kind of things you are working on these days, what kind of things you are maybe struggling with. And also, compared to 6 months ago, how is your routine different? Are there one or two big things? Like for me, I'm in a different location and I have a different daily schedule. Those are two of the big ones. And of course, that affects everything from how I sleep to what and when I eat, to exercising, social interactions, and of course, the workload and work pace. So all of those things are different from what they were 6 months ago. And frankly, I never could have expected that it would look like this. So how about you? If you have anything like that, we would love to hear how it is challenging you, what kind of things you're facing now.
Right, so we are live. Thank you. So we will do how coaching can help you to feel less anxious.
That's right.
Yes.
There we go. That's
right.
working.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the first time that we're doing this live coaching. We're going to talk about some of the techniques. We're going to talk about some of the principles. Those of you who are familiar with brain education probably have tried a few of them. But what we'd like to really do is focus on how you can have a very clear goal and strategy to achieve what you want, even in the face of challenges.
Right. Things are changing rapidly, and then we have no idea what will happen in the external situation. And then nobody have experienced this before, like fully. So while we don't have control of the outside world, we can control inside. So how do you deal with this anxious feeling?
So when you're in super anxious or stressful situation, that's actually the best time to feel the difference between outside focus and inside focus. When things are comfortable, it can actually be really difficult to tell, am I focusing inside or not? Because it's kind of the same. Inside, everything's fine. Outside, generally it's comfortable. But when we're facing a lot of stress, you can tell right away. If I focus outside on everything going on, I feel really, really overwhelmed. I can really tell the difference when I focus inside.
That is why it is so important that we have a habit of feeling inside and then getting connected to ourselves.
That's right. So this is something that you can build into your daily routine. Again, if your routine changed, it can actually be a great opportunity to put some new self-care or connection practices into your daily routine because things are a little different anyway.
Yes, we tend to try our best to stay on top of things, like checking the media and checking the internet and many times. But what is important at the same time is to stay on top of your own self.
Yeah. So how much time do you spend every day checking in, creating your strategy, focusing on your goal, and then one of the big things we like to do, envisioning the result. So you've got to really take time. It's not just something that you can think about in the back of your mind. It's something that you actively create, we say, with energy, through meditation, through visualization, through even sharing about it or describing it, and even strategizing, making the action plan. That can actually help you make it more real.
Yes, so we are so accustomed to this physical world, the visible things, the five senses. But what really matters is about our inside, and that is why we say mindful.
Mm-hmm. So that's the first step. The first tip is, do you take time just for yourself to visualize your day, your week, or your month, Or is this something that you typically don't do because you're busy or because it feels like it's not actually productive? I'd like to know, or just take a moment to reflect on that. And if you want to comment on it, how and when do you take the time to visualize things? And have you been doing more of it lately? Or have you been doing less of it with a new routine?
Yes, this time is more than ever. We need to focus on ourselves and reflect on ourselves. So when we have lots of stress, we tend to react to the stimulation from outside. But we really need to take time to reflect on ourselves and then deal with those situations from inside. Yeah. So I really hope that you give us a comment or a question so that we can have a conversation together, and then we can deal with your issues too.
So how about this morning, just today? You know, each day it feels like, oh, today is, happening so quickly, and I've got a very unique schedule and there's lots of new things happening. What was today? Because today is a good example. For me, it's another day. It's a Friday. I had this coming up. I have a couple other projects and events coming up. So I woke up and then we did some meditation this morning. So we have an online group that does meditation together. So I participated in that. And I can reflect on how was my feeling during that time. Was it more focused than usual? Was it a little bit less focused and distracted? How was my body condition? How about you? How did you start your day?
Taking time, especially in the morning and night. So right after you get up and also right before you go to your bed. So having time to reflect on yourself and some meditation time, it is really important. And also we set energy and visualization. So you can sit down and then close your eyes, and then you can see things when you close your eyes, and there's visualization. And we have this function of the imagination. So we can use that so we can really improve the quality of the life.
So one of the things, if you want to deal with anxiety or stress or whatever challenges are happening, we have to realize that our brain is always creating reality, the power of imagination, whether we're actively using it intentionally or whether it's just in the background while we're being busy doing other things. Our imagination is still working. So unconsciously, consciously. Right. How is your imagination creating your reality? And how can you affect it so that it's creating more of reality the way you want? That's part of why we need to take that time, like in the morning. Or now, it's 11 o'clock Pacific time. It's 2 o'clock on the East Coast. So maybe more than half your day has already passed in some places. How is it going? Are you just kind of getting through the day waiting for the end? Or are you actively stepping forward on your strategy, feeling like you're accomplishing everything that you visualized? That's very important.
Right. When we look back, I believe that lots of people feel the same way like me. When I look back, then it feels like the New Year's Day of this year, it feels like it's yesterday.
Yesterday? Yeah. New Year's 2020?
Yes. And then
at the same time though.
And then time passes by too quickly, and it really flew. So, and I have no idea how the first half of this year went. And we are in the last day of July, and time really flies. So we need to be really be here and now, and then you can be the owner of our time and space, so that we can be wise and smart of using our time.
So here's one of the key points. I think it's there's a natural reaction when things get busy or stressful. There's a reaction for the mind to go faster from one thing to the next. So trying to react, trying to fix things, trying to just finish things. If you notice that happening, you have to be aware when that is happening, when the mind is going faster and faster because there's more stimulation, more pressure, and then find some ways to come back to a neutral place, because that's the only way that we can actually gather the energy. The faster we go, the more scattered we get, the more scattered our energy gets. And that's a real thing. You'll see the feeling at the end of the day is, I was so busy, but I don't feel like I really accomplished anything. And if you get that feeling, it's a good sign that during the day, your mind and your energy was becoming more and more dispersed and thin, kind of weak. Here, 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 here. We can't create a lot of results or a lot of change in our life if our energy is like that.
Right. We say neutral point, and also we say 0.2. So we are so busy reacting to the stimulation, and then we are busy going through the to-do list. So it is really important to get things done, but at the same time, we need some sense of fulfillment. And then we need a sense of like reward, that is like satisfaction. I am contributing to some bigger cause that is bigger than myself. Something like that. So we always say that the self-love is important. We need to love ourselves. That is the beginning of all the love. But for that, we need to have the sense that we are contributing to the bigger cause. So that is why it is so good to have the vision and then the purpose of the life.
I see the question, how does one get back to a neutral place? What techniques are available? So it's a great question.
Yes, great question.
How do you get back to the neutral place? The first and simplest principle that will automatically tell you what you need to do. The neutral place exists in the present moment, here and now.
Here and now.
And the easiest tool we have is the body, the physical body. When we're not in the neutral place, where are we? We're usually in our thoughts or in our emotions. We can say that our consciousness, our awareness is somewhere in the future or in the past, typically. So getting back to that neutral place where we have power, it's really about coming back to the present moment. Being in the present moment can be a little tricky. Am I thinking about the present moment? Am I wanting to be, imagining the present moment? That's different from really being there. But when you're in your body, you notice feeling the body, tapping the body, stimulating the body, breathing with the body, sensing through the body. These things are part of what we can use to be in the present moment.
Yes, so in your daily life, so who do you or what do you spend the most time with? Of course, it is a cell phone.
Cell phone.
But when you think about it, then the thing that you spend 24 hours a day, that is your body. And then we have this body and then consciousness. So, and then we always say that we need to be here and now, and there is the mindfulness. And how can you attain the mindfulness? How can you fully be here and now? So that is to become connected to your body.
Right.
Because what is ultimately here and now? It is not about your consciousness. It is your body that is here and now.
Right. So using your body, we say body stimulation, what gets the attention? Energy flows where the attention goes, right? So first step, a lot of people know that where their attention goes, the energy will go. So they might focus, they think about it a lot. Sometimes it works to focus on your goal just by thinking about it a lot and kind of getting excited about it. But sometimes all that energy keeps getting distracted even though we want something. At that point, we need to come back to the neutral point. We need to come back to the body first. So stimulation of the body is a simple, practical, you can always rely on that. No matter what else is happening in your mind, with your emotions, if you stimulate your body, you can rely on the fact that you are going to be a little bit more in the neutral point after doing that.
Yes, so there are a lot of methods to be here and now. And also the tapping is a very good. And how about rubbing, right? And also how about laughing, smiling. So, and also meditation. And also the meditation, when you don't do the preparation and when you sit still, then what will happen? Most likely you will have lots of thoughts going on, thinking, hard to focus. So that is why we do energy meditation, so feeling the energy.
That makes sense, right? So you probably experienced a little bit, even if you just go to the gym. Let's say your mind is really scattered, you feel kind of overwhelmed and weak. If you go to the gym and do even some light exercise, you should feel more centered in your body. That's a little bit more back into the present moment, right. The neutral point. Now there's actually a lot deeper principle that we can go into, specifically with what kind of stress you're facing, how is your body condition, how is your breathing. Those are things that we can check and we can practice together because each person is a little different. So you might find that a certain technique really helps you find the neutral point better than other techniques. So it's worth it to experiment a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of the fitness center, gym, then it is really good to do exercise and running and all those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can see that there is a big monitor screen, like the TV and entertainment.
At the
and
gym?
then at the gym. So some people, their consciousness go to other side and then watching the media and news and running. So sometimes it is not really becoming one with their body. So I would recommend that when you run or when you do some weight exercise, try to feel your body. Posture.
Yeah, don't watch the TV.
Yes. Posture and then breathing. Also, the way how you're breathing affects a lot about your physical health and mental health too.
So I see a good follow-up comment. Sometimes I feel pain, then my mind goes somewhere because it's too painful. So you're actually pointing out one of the most important challenges of being mindful, of coming back to the neutral point. And that is, when you start to come back, you'll actually feel discomfort, irritation, sometimes more stress and more emotion. Mm-hmm. Why? Because that's actually the condition that the body has developed. Let's say I've been really stressed out for the past week. And my mind has been racing. I feel tired, I feel kind of scattered, but at the same time, I feel like I could keep going. Then I do some exercise. It's the end of the week, I go to my yoga class, and suddenly I feel really uncomfortable. Suddenly I feel all these aches and pains and stiffness. At that time, my first reaction might be, I really don't want to feel that. I don't want to be in the body, I need to stop. But actually, with some practice, we realize feeling all those things is like coming back to your home after you've been on vacation and noticing all the dust and the broken window and the light went out and all this stuff that needs to be fixed up because we've been away.
Right. When you say consciousness and the mind analogy, then consciousness, we can say that there is the owner of the house, right? And then in this society, it's really hard to stay at home. Stay in the body.
Yeah, there's so many things to look at. Like even this helpful YouTube Live, Facebook Live, hopefully it's really useful, but at the same time, it can be just another thing to look at. It can draw us outside. So that's why we want to keep doing some stimulation for the body.
Yeah, how about you? How long or like how many minutes can you stay away from your cell phone? Right? I can see a lot of people, even during the mealtime, they keep checking.
So right now, even if you're watching this, looking at this while you're doing something, how's your posture? So try sitting up straight, straighten your spine, and automatically you'll notice either feels better because you're more mindful, because you're aware, your breathing changes, or you'll start to notice aches and pains just by sitting up straight.
Yes.
Which tells you the body has been kind of stuck in a position or gotten weak.
Yes.
So the posture change can be the first step in being more mindful.
Right. And then when we change our postures to correct the postures, sometimes we feel pain. So that is why, I don't do it. But we need to overcome. No pain, no gains. So we need to keep going. And we tend to strive for like instant gratification.
Right. Oh, you say, you were a bit slouched, huh? Yeah, it's easy. When I've watched something and people say, so are you sitting up straight? And automatically I check, and yep, I was not sitting up straight. Because for a little while, this is nice. But after a while, it really feels better, even if it's a little harder work. It feels better to engage the core, sit up straight, open the chest, try to relax the shoulders. And then I can notice, I really need to exercise those muscles between the shoulder blades. And that will guide you on what kind of exercise and self-care you should be doing.
Yes. So it is the matter of your habit. So please have a habit of becoming closer and connected to your best friend. That is your body.
Your body. So that's really step one, is taking the time through the body to come back to the body, to be present, to check in with that neutral point. That's step one. I would say step two, we touched upon it just now. Step two is, do you have the willingness?
Willingness.
Do you have the courage and willingness to face the reality when you come back to your body? So I come back to my body, it's a little bit achy, it feels a little tired and weak. Do I want to just right away avoid again? Or am I willing to work on that, even though it's uncomfortable, because I have a goal? Because I have the motivation to achieve something with that energy that I need. So if you don't have any goal, if you don't have any willingness, then even though you do these mindfulness techniques, it's going to be too uncomfortable.
So it is a matter of like, what do I want? Right?
What do I want?
What do I really want, and what is your goal? So your goal, you can talk about the purpose of the life, but before we go there, you can think about the goal of your today. What is the goal of the day? And then what is the goal for this week?
Right.
Do you want to finish a certain project of your company? Or at the same time, what do you want for yourself, for your life?
So let's say that just making a good posture, maybe that helps you feel like you're achieving your goal. Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more mindful. I'm going to be a little bit more in my body, and I'm going to be stronger. Good. Maybe even you do that, it still feels like, I don't know what I want. I'm not really motivated. I'm not clear about what today is going to really bring. At that time, what Minjae just said, ask yourself, with some body stimulation. So you notice I keep going back to body tapping, because that's one of the simplest, easiest ways. When you start body tapping, don't you want to take a deep breath? Try it. Let's do a little bit like lungs, shoulder, chest area. You can feel where things are tight. You can feel where things have gotten weak. Maybe they fell asleep. You don't notice the feeling. And then as you tap, I'm kind of going to the next step already because we're talking about it, but as you tap, you can check in with yourself. What do I want? What do I really want today? Why am I doing anything today?
So like this, having conversation, you want to have a conversation with other people, but you know, it is really important to have conversation with yourself.
That's right.
And then especially from the morning, and then when you have a clear mind, then you have a morning meditation or evening meditation.
So I can see you say the right shoulder is tight. Tap on that area and take a couple deep breaths. Usually when we notice, you might feel this, when we notice something is tight or painful, we kind of have a quick reaction and then there's a deeper layer of reaction. So the quick reaction is to fix it. Oh, I don't like that. I want to make that go away. How can I make it feel better? If you stay with it and breathe, the deeper reaction is, I've been stressed. I've been resisting something. So try to stay with the feeling rather than following the quick reaction. Let's say right shoulder. Breathe with it. And then you can notice the deeper reaction. The stress that you've been holding for 1 week. The thoughts and emotions that have been upsetting you for a day or two, those are the things we really want to get to, that deeper presence in the body.
Yes, our consciousness is not one layer, it is multi-layers. And then that is why sometimes we say, oh, I have no idea what I'm thinking and what I am feeling. Because it is a journey of knowing myself. So keep going and keep going deeper and deeper.
Yeah. Well, I see 1 minute exercise. You got it.
Yurgita and Lolita.
The willingness, right. So these are very important things. 1 minute exercise, you got it. You got to do that little bit of stimulation to bring the mind back to the body. And then checking in. Now here's maybe a third step. So we talked about first step, feel the body. Second step, you got to have the willingness to deal with the stuff that you feel. Third step is, what is your choice?
What is my choice?
Because a lot of times we'll start asking, oh, what do I want? What do I want? Oh, yeah, there's a deeper stress there. Oh, I've been holding on to this emotion. There's no perfect answer. Even when you are being more present, you are being more mindful, there's no perfect answer on, well, what should I want? What should my goal be? What is my life purpose? What is going to make me happy? Nothing's going to tell that to you, even when you do mindfulness practice. There comes a point when you just kind of are present, and then you need to make a choice.
So that kind of question is not something that other people can resolve for you. So you need to like come up with that question, and also you need to know that, oh, that question is really important one in my life. So I need to resolve it. And then you need to face the question and keep going.
Hello, Conroe. Yeah, so perfectionism is actually, a lot of us, we practice these techniques with a lot of perfectionism. Okay, they said to do it like this, and they said to breathe like that, and they said do 20 minutes, and I did my 20 minutes, and I'm still, I feel like I did something, but I'm not clear what I want. All that stuff is still the mind with its own patterns and programs. Sometimes you just need to choose, all right, my best goal for today is just to smile 20 times. My best goal for today is to finish that project that I've been waiting to do. Even if it's not perfect, I'm just going to finish it.
So trying to find, oh, this is right or wrong, I think that's because this is how we have been educated from this society. So rather than right or wrong, how can we have like 7 billion people on this earth.
7 billion?
Yes.
Wow.
Give or take 10 people. So how can you say that we have just one answer for like all people's life?
0 minutes away from the phone, Lidanim.
0 minute. 1 minute exercise is the best way to get away from it.
I know. One of the best things is when you have the chance to teach, take a class, share with somebody else, then you can't be on your phone at that time. Otherwise, I know the feeling. There's always another thing to check. And actually, it feels like caring. It feels like accomplishing something to check in on those messages. But we really need that time. So I see another good observation. I'm looking for work. That's been stressing me, right?
That's
and then
really
another
stressful,
good observation.
right.
Let's say you start doing some training and you're tapping the right shoulder, and then suddenly the left shoulder starts to feel achy. So if I'm reacting to everything, then naturally it's true. Oh man, what's that? Oh, maybe this caused that. Oh, I can't do this because it causes that. We got to find that middle ground where it's kind of a compromise between working super hard and also letting things flow. And then not judging too much. Okay, do I feel better? Do I feel worse? Here's one of the techniques that you can use to measure whether something has been useful. Are you breathing a little bit deeper than you were before? Are you a little bit more mindful of your breathing? Then typically, whatever you were doing, it's okay.
Yes,
Good for you.
Why don't you feel it? Why don't we breathe slowly 10 times?
10 times?
Yes.
All right, let's try it.
So breathe in like 3 to 5 seconds and breathe out for 5 seconds. Let's try.
Breathe in. And breathe out. Check the breath, right.
One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Just this moment, do nothing, just focus on your breathing.
Right.
Breathe in, breathe out.
So even as you try breathing, you'll notice there's lots of thoughts, but do it anyway. Keep focusing on the breathing.
Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out.
You might notice that your breathing goes a little faster, or you might be able to breathe more slowly. Either way is fine. Just stay with it.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, one last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. How do you feel? Don't you feel calmer and more peaceful?
Well, actually, you might not. That's actually also very good.
Yes, the opposite is very good too.
When you try breathing practice, the first thing you might notice is how stressed you are. So that's productive. That's a good thing.
That's also revelation too.
Our primary goal is awareness. It's not a feeling. We're not doing all these techniques to create the exact feeling, the comfortable feeling right away. That we cannot do. Actually, that gets us into trouble when we're too impatient to feel better. Because then we create more stress and we create this need to detach from the body.
As you keep going with this journey of your awareness, the good feeling, the satisfied feeling, and then the full feeling, the sense will come to you. But don't try to follow the feeling.
So feelings are the end result of awareness.
More relaxed, I yawned a lot, and there is slight
Strain at the top of my breath.
Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Through that, hopefully you can feel some awareness, you can feel some relaxation, but also you notice the stress response, like the strain at the top of the breath. You notice that more clearly. Once you notice something, then the brain and the body go into this unconscious routine of letting it go. But until we are aware of it, it's just going to stay there.
Our mind and body, our body and brain is really connected. So we can utilize our brain more by using our body more, and also the vice versa. So we really need the harmony and coordination.
I feel tension more in my neck. This is actually a really good point. Before you were saying that you could feel the right shoulder, and now you can feel it in your neck. A lot of times when the body has pain or tension, it's coming from something, I would say, like very central. Either we have some gut indigestion, we're not feeling good here, the breathing is shallow and we're tight in the chest, or the spine is stiff and hasn't been stretched lately. But we might feel it in the shoulder, we might feel it all the way down the arm or the leg. And because of that, we focus on the arm and leg. When you start to come back to the body, you find that the issue, the stress, is more deeper in the center. And that's a really good awakening, because when we work there, it's going to produce more of a beneficial response.
Yes, it is that we have like 12 major meridian channels, and then that is where the energy flows. So while we tap our body, or just by feeling our body more, then the flow of the energy will be much better.
So I'd like to ask, now we have about 10 minutes left, what kind of things for, let's say, the weekend or for next week, it's the beginning of a new month, in August, what kind of challenges do you want to take on? What kind of challenges have you been facing that you would like to deal with a little differently? This is your chance to create a vision, a goal. You know, there's no pressure yet because it hasn't started. So you can just freely look at the past month. What was it in July that ended up dominating your time and your energy and your attention?
So it is like reflection time of my life in July?
Yeah, it's nice when a month goes by. I hope you don't let the month pass without any acknowledgement, because it's a good chance to see, how have I been living? How has my energy been directed? And from a conscious place, what do I want to change about that for the next month?
Yeah, when people talk about this evaluation, then most people like, oh, I got evaluated. But this is not the evaluation of like other people evaluate you, but you evaluate your life from the master consciousness.
Right. So we say sometimes it's like the owner versus the employee at a store. You are the owner of your life, right? You're not just the employee.
Of your life.
If you're the owner of your life, if you're the owner of a store, let's say that the billboard outside or the banner in front of your store is ripped. You're the owner. Do you want to know that that thing is ripped? Or do you want nobody to tell you because you're going to be upset? We got to think about that. If you're the employee, you're just making an hourly wage, you get off work in 2 hours. maybe you don't feel a lot of ownership of that billboard in this store.
And then many employees will wait until they are told to fix it.
Right. Or somebody comes in off the street, they're like, you got a problem with your sign outside. That's not my job. But the owner is going to say, thank you so much for letting me know that there was a problem, because I want to make this as good as possible. And if I don't know there's a problem, I can't fix it.
Wow, there's a very big difference between those two consciousness.
Yeah. So the same thing is true of our life. If I feel like a spectator or just an employee somehow of my life, then I don't really want to notice the problems because, it's not my thing. I'm not in charge. But if I'm the owner of my life, I want to know about those things, even if it's painful for somebody to say, hey, you seem like you've been really stressed out and you're getting a little bit kind of like bad communication with people because of it. At first, ooh, I don't want to hear that. But then actually it's really useful because I'm the owner of my life. I'm the only one who can change that.
Ultimately, who is the owner and master of our life?
Yeah.
So we are, right? But in many times we live as if we are like employee of our life.
So I see some people already reflecting. July was definitely better than June. Participated in squat challenge. Very nice.
Oh.
So those little things make a huge difference. How about for you? How was it participating in that 21-day challenge, right? Didn't it add something like some energy to your daily life? And I see also everybody here wants to know, if you have accomplished the level of awareness where you want to be made aware when there are problems, you want to be made aware of opportunities to fix things, then you are already a step ahead of the game. I would say the step ahead of the average consciousness. If you want to know, you want somebody to tell you, then you're doing well. The next thing is, are you actively finding ways to get that feedback? Either by asking people or by having standards that get checked every month, every week. If you implement those standards in your daily life and those systems, then you're really going to be growing quickly and you're going to be very aware of what you're doing.
So the thing is, you can have your monthly goal and you can have your weekly goals and also your daily goals too.
Feel more grounded, aware of the stress. Yeah. So it's a long process, and anybody who has worked out regularly or studied regularly or just done anything where you try to improve yourself will be aware that it's not a straight line usually. There's a lot of up and down. There's a lot of like Rubik's Cube where you move one part and then suddenly something on the other side of your life needs to be adjusted because it's now off balance. All of that can be stressful, but once you get used to it, you realize it's all part of the game.
Yeah, so it's ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. And it is often the case that people give up when they come to lower stage. But we can keep going and then you will go up. And after, in long run, we can see that it is going up and up.
So you got to have those measures, like we said, checking one day, checking 1 week, and checking 1 month. And actually, it typically takes 6 months to a year if you want to change any of the deep habits.
Wow.
So how are you going to be consistent? It's, what do we have, 5 months left in 2020?
Only 5 months?
Isn't it?
Oh my God.
So we have 5 months left. So for these next 5 months, let's say New Year's Day 2021.
Oh, did you say 2021?
We don't know what's going to be happening New Year's Day 2021. But you have to be able to, first of all, set a vision. And secondly, to check, let's say in 3 months from now and 5 months from now, am I closer to it? What's really dangerous is just basing it on your present feeling only. Because all of us can normalize things.
Right.
We all get used to either being down, being sick, being tired, being frustrated. We can consider that normal. Unless, first of all, somebody else can help us with feedback. And secondly, we have some measurement. So that's why it's useful, even though ultimately everything happens inside, it's important to connect it to some concrete, measurable results outside that you're willing to say represent your condition. Because that, you can't just say, oh, well, I'm doing okay. I put in a lot of work. I think it's fine. I'm happy. but the results don't tell you that you're actually putting in enough work or that it's actually working the way you wanted. That's important.
And then one tip is that when people give you feedback or their personal opinion about yourselves, then don't be defensive. Just open your mind, and you can always consider that, oh, sometimes I do things wrong. Of course, we are human beings. Nobody's perfect. So when we just take that, then you'll be more relaxed and open-minded, and you can communicate better. So you can be open-minded about it.
That's right. Have you ever noticed that your personality and your emotions can switch the moment that you find a purpose again? You reconnect with the feeling of motivation for your purpose.
Right.
Before that, maybe everything was irritating, you didn't want to deal with it, you were tired, distracted. Once your purpose is realigned, suddenly you're not irritated anymore. You want to use that. Oh yeah, okay, I can use that. What that person said, it's not quite right, but at the same time, it is telling me some truth. So reconnecting with that daily and weekly purpose, that's why it's so important to have that time to visualize, that time to feel the energy, to come back to the neutral point, and then develop your willingness again. I want this. I'm the owner.
I see.
This is my life. Nobody else is making it easier or harder. It's all up to me.
So it is like driving our car. So we tend to going faster, the driving gear. But sometimes we put in a neutral status and then check ourselves, right?
Yeah, you can't really tune up the car if you're driving along the road still. Right. Sometimes you need to pull over. You can't just go faster. That is very, very important.
Very important. And then you can do it the morning meditation or the evening meditation. We can utilize the time.
That's right.
All right.
So also very important not to just let the time go by, not just waiting for the end. So this is really important, is to check the habit of waiting for things to end, waiting for stress to end, waiting for challenges to be done with. Because if you're doing that, you take it and extend it to your whole life, just waiting for the end, waiting for the time to be over. This is a really dangerous way to look at life. Oh, it'll be better tonight when work finishes, then I'll be happy. Tonight when I can go to bed, then I'll be relaxed. This is not the way that we can actually grow through life. We have to really be right now, I'm going to start creating more of the energy. And if that means dealing with anxiety, that means I need to actually have more energy. Not just hope that the things that make me stressed go away. We don't want to be waiting for the end of life.
And another thing is, if only I can have that, then I will be happy.
Yeah, same thing.
If I pass that examination, then I'll be happy.
As someone says here, yeah, you said it. Waiting for the perfect condition does not help. Of course, there's a natural tendency. Let's say tomorrow's Christmas. I'm waiting for Christmas.
Christmas already?
It's going to be great. I'm waiting. But if I'm in that mode too often, then I'm never present. Then my energy is always somewhere else.
Right.
It's really difficult if we're in that mode.
We can create happiness here and now.
Right. There's only today. There's only this moment. That's part of the practice of being mindful. And same thing, connecting with your body is also part of being present, just living today.
Yes. So what can you do? Relax. And then try to smile. And always know that we can create happiness here and now.
So please use those techniques and think about more what kind of things you want to create in August. It's a great chance. Our brain is very aware of things like numbers and also changes in the month. Our brain knows that even if you're not really thinking about it, it knows, okay, a new month is coming. It's a new chance. I can choose something new. I can use this next month to create something new.
Yes, so time to wrap up is coming. So we really hope that you become mindful and stay here and now. And then you will feel much less anxious about new changes.
So please leave any questions and comments. We will be back with this live coaching at least once a week. We would love to know what kind of things you are planning what kind of things you're working on and challenged by, and we will address those in our live coaching session.
Yes, we will check our comments and then we will try to address it in the next time.
Yeah, so we will definitely do each Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and we may add another session as time goes on.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great end of July, and let's start August with a lot of centered energy from that neutral point, and let's create a lot of good results in August.
And have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
God.